Finance, remember when we spoke about the markets, Bajaj Finance is among the top gainer on the Nifty, and it is in focus today on back of its fundraising plans. The board is all set to meet on October 5th to discuss the same. Let's first hear out actually what managing editor of ET Now Swadesh Nikunj Dalmia actually had to say on the fact that Bajaj Finance is actually going ahead and going to discuss about fundraising plan after a huge gap.
They are raising money when they don't need capital. They can easily go without raising capital for another 3-4 quarters. So why are they preempting a fundraise? They're preempting a fundraise, A, because liquidity may be available, or B, then they are looking at perhaps growing higher than the historical averages. Bajaj Finance has surprised that how companies at large scale can also grow. I mean, there are very few companies when they become large of the size of Bajaj Capital, they can have double-digit growth, and that too the best in the industry. So Bajaj Finance in a sense has delighted and surprised everybody. So fundraise is a clear indication that they're raising money ahead of the time, and this is growth capital. B, if one looks at Bajaj Finance, this I think is the most important point for me. The valuations for Bajaj Finance currently are cheaper than the pre-COVID levels, and they're even cheaper than the pre-LNFS crisis level. That is important, that they're raising capital, they're growing on a large base, and the franchise like Bajaj Finance is available at a price to book which actually is cheaper than the pre-COVID levels and even cheaper than the LNFS crisis. So that just tells you that right now it is not an expensive stock. It has not become Humpty Dumpty. Everybody likes it. Institutional investors, they own it. But in terms of valuations, I think it is cheap. You know, it's becoming quite strange to look at the private banking space or the private financial space where the sumo stocks are available at valuations like never before. Whether it is HDFC Bank, there are other factors at play. But for Bajaj Finance, which has been a survivor and it has flourished post-COVID, it is available at valuations which are cheaper than pre-COVID. How ironical is that?
Right, that was of course Nikunj's take on Bajaj Finance, but let me bring on board both our guests for today. Hemen Kapadia, who's Senior VP Institutional Equities at Choksey, as well as G Chokkalingam, Founder and CIO at Equinomics Research and Advisory. Welcome. Good morning, gentlemen. Let me take it first to Mr. Chokkalingam. Sir, tell us, what is your view on Bajaj Finance? How should one look at it?
Definitely one can hold on to it for 3 reasons. One, I am more nervous on small and mid-cap space, and I expect them to correct substantially in the short term, whereas large cap are likely to remain intact. Even if market falls, the domestic institution would come and rescue the large cap segment. So that's the first reason. And second reason, it has been doing extremely well on a bottom line front. Even in Q1 FY24, profit has grown around 26% year on year, which is really very impressive considering the base of the business, base of the profits. Thirdly, now they have proposed to mobilize resources, including QIP. So normally we see a perception-driven rally before QIP. So therefore, one can hold in the short term and hope for a target of around 8,200, and that is a price at which, or on QIP mobilization date, they may consider booking profits.
That's the take coming in from Mr. Chokkalingam, who is continues to be bullish on Bajaj Finance. Very good morning to you, sir, and good morning to you as well, Hemen. And what's your view on Bajaj Finance? Yes, it's a news-based development. That's the reason why we are seeing that sharp perk up in the stock price in today's trading session. But leave aside today's performance. On the charts, how does Bajaj Finance look to you? Do you think it is a good, sustainable, quality bet that one can take if one wants to make money, at least in the short to medium term?
A very good morning to you, Petal. Thank you for having me. Short term, medium term, yes, I would be slightly more positive from a longer term point of view, Cheryl. We read 7,817. Historically, 3, 4, 5. There have been 5.5 attempts. Half, I'm saying half because it came to 79, not 8,000. So 5.5 attempts at taking out 8,000 on the weekly chart, Cheryl, or even if you look at the monthly chart, same story. So 5.5 attempts in the time frame is what 2.5 years. So if you've taken 2.5 years, made a consolidation phase between 5,200 on the downside and 8,000 on the upside, and still not being able to take it out. Now the setup is obviously positive. Oscillators are in a crossover buy on all time frame. Looks good, but we still need this formality of 8,000 being taken out. I believe that's on the way. Difficult to quantify a time frame at this point in time, Cheryl. But if and when it does, I think it will. We are going to go to 5 figures. So I'd say from a longer term point of view, I'd be much more positive, Cheryl.
Right. So both our guests quite positive on Bajaj Finance, Cheryl. So, but with that, let's slip